morning, everybody. I welcome you to this ICRA Day program. Today happens to be 21st July, which is the 140th birth anniversary of Dr. L.D. Dhawale. Today also happens to be Guru Purnima, which is the 97th birth anniversary of MLDO. So this is a rare occasion when a lot of these dates are coinciding. I think one of the major aspects of this ICRA Day has been the extraordinary publicity that Tamanna has launched. And this was one of the major aspects which she discovered. And it is a coincidence that it was sent to me on the 14th of July, last Sunday. And she was planning to use it later. I said, no, this is the right music to circulate on that day. And I wish to read out her experience, which is relevant to the day that we are celebrating. After I told her that circulate it today, she writes, just wanted to share the experience of this creation. It was neither planned nor envisioned in the form that it has taken. It just happened, and if anything, made itself. I was working on Sunil sir's video and had already clipped the recording into the desired number of pieces. A wandering thought picked up from the mention of Guru Purnima in his script and made me look for music. It was not the stage at which music is usually sought, for that usually comes at the end to suit the visuals. Then out of nowhere, a copyright-free piece showed up right on top of the search, something that does not easily happen, and one has to really look for good copyright for pieces. I easily found a brilliant audio extractor and soon had it downloaded. So the music was in place, still in Sunil sir's file. I still thought I was using it for the same, perhaps as an opening page. Salutation graphics were designed without fuss, and the lamp lighting another part of the logo automatically followed as the only appropriate one. The flames asked to be lighted, and a new technique effortlessly sparked in the mind. Only once the page was ready, it dawned that this could not be touched by a human voice and should be separated from. The flames moved with the music and other details got added in the subsequent pages. The pages were calibrated to the music, usually is the other way around, since the content dominates. And all I wanted to do was to keep looking at it, listening to it over and over. It is something within and felt like a sigh, one that infused breath into the being, dissolved pain, slowed down chaos, urged to stop and be, to breathe and let breathe. Language is handicapped for words sometimes to dilute the experience. I slept in a trance. When I listened to it again in the morning, it was at once grounding and almost surreal. It dawns on me that this experience was a blessing. As we take a step to reinvent ourselves, may Guru Purnima this year be the start of the 50th anniversary of the ICR and lead to a resounding revival of the training. I think when a lot of issues are in sync, then the spirit of Guru Purnima. It dominates us, and we are able to perform as per the wishes of the Guru. And since now we have the fourth Guru in the form of Tiwari sir, it was the right thing to formulate a program which encompasses the very essence of the training which NLT sir was deeply involved in. And again, as we mentioned, as Tamanna has mentioned, it was in the fitness of things that Latha's present was born. Latha has been with us since close to maybe 35 years. I remember having made her case record in 1989 at Chembur. Her parents were involved with MLD sir much before that. And I think all of us who have visited Bangalore for the numerous workshops have really partake the culinary skills of her mother. Her idli and her rasam are something to die for. Her father has been a homeopathic votary. And I think you'll be surprised to know that Latha took admission in CMP in spite of being qualified to enter the MBBS course. It was her father who insisted that she learn homeopathy and qualify in it. After going to Bangalore, after marriage, I personally thought that Latha was practically lost. But some things rejuvenate, like the phoenix. And not only has Latha rejuvenated, but rejuvenated the institution at Bangalore. ICR is a process which, as most of you know, is a tough process. The participants, the candidates, they submit their cases. Cases are reviewed. They submit a self-evaluation report. They appear for exam in which a long case and a short case qualifies. And at the end, there is a viva. And the viva is meant to understand what are the issues which the learner faces and how he or she can be helped in the process of acquiring professional competence. And over a period of time, it was not so in MLD sir's time, but subsequently, we have found that instituting a further mechanism in the form of a submission or a dissertation is useful because it helps to tie up things which have been present. One of the prominent issues that was identified was the aspect of hypersensitivity. And hypersensitivity through her case submissions as well as through her exams, it showed in both the lights. It was something that was very, very strong. It helped her to see the totality. It also helped her to, or allowed her to deviate from the totality. So, Dr. Fansalkar sir, with his acumen, he recommended that let us try to help Latha to explore the hypersensitivity. And so therefore the subject of the dissertation was hypersensitivity, an asset or a liability in the metamorphosis of a homeopathic physician. And fortunately or unfortunately, Mihir sir and I were selected by the examiner board to guide her in the process. And as Latha will vouch, both of us formed a mutually harassment society. And Latha got involved in it, and through a number of gives and takes to and fro, where I finally stepped in because I told Mihir that no, don't go to metamorphosis of the Kafka origin. That is something that we don't want her to go through. And if you recall, Franz Kafka, whose again I think 100th anniversary we are celebrating this year, Franz Kafka wrote a seminal short story called The Metamorphosis. In that, the hero wakes up one morning to become. So we didn't want Latha to go through that process. We said that what she has achieved is something that is remarkable. Both of us have benefited and have learned from her dissertation. And so we thought that with Latha's dissertation, we must also join up Sunil sir's presentation, because Sunil sir has been involved in the MICR training process right from the time that he has qualified. And so his experience of the entire way in which it has been structured and in what way we are trying to revive Hahnemannian teachings in the MICR process is something that he can help us to understand. So with these few words, let me request Latha to come and commence her presentation.